right. So again, tonight we're going to be doing a osteoporosis non-flexion, non-loaded flexion type of class to prevent any damage if you've got bone density issues. So we are going to be using a ring and theraband. Of course, you've got your mat. So set those, I've got mine set up over my head here. We're going to come down on the mat. And just settle that spine down into the mat. We're just going to allow that spine to get heavy into the mat so that it will lengthen out. So inhale. Exhale, let the belly sink down heavy onto the spine. And the spine sinks down heavy onto the mat. I'm going to take a few breaths there. Let's go ahead and turn our palms up to the ceiling. Put the arms at a comfortable distance from your hips here. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. As you feel that spine start to lengthen, you can pick the hips up and adjust them a little further away from the center. Same thing with the upper back and the neck. Adjust it further from your center. And again, inhale. And exhale. Think about your mat now like it's a bed of soft clay. And your spine is just sinking down into that clay. Nice and heavy. And inhale. And exhale, you're going to let go of anything, any extra tension that you just don't need. And inhale. And exhale. Let's go ahead and take the hands up over your chest. Palms are facing one another. And let's reach the fingertips up to the ceiling. And then bring the shoulder blades back down to the mat. And reach the fingertips up. And bring the shoulder blades back down. And reach to the ceiling. Back down. And reach. This time, go ahead and give yourself a big hug here. Wrap those fingertips all the way back to the back of your scapula back there. And we'll inhale into that space between the shoulder blades. And exhale. If you do not have a bone density concern, you can do an upper body curl here. And again, inhale into that space between the shoulder blades. And exhale to roll it back down. From here, slide your fingertips down your rib cage until your arms come apart. And switch the arm that's on top. Walk those fingertips back. And breathing into that space between the shoulder blades here. Again, if you do not have a bone density issue, you can come into that upper body curl and inhale. And exhale to lower down. Shoulder blades down the back and slide your fingertips down your ribs until the arms come apart. Hands back up over your chest again. From here, inhale. As you exhale, knit the rib cage heavy into your clay and take the arms up over your forehead. And bring the arms back up with an inhale. And exhale over the forehead. Knit that rib cage down into your mat. And inhale to come back up. And exhale over the forehead. Inhale over your chest. And exhale over your forehead. Inhale over your chest. Take your right arm up by the ear and the left arm down by the hip. Take the arms out to the side. Switch the arm that's on top and bring it back up to center. Again, letting your rib cage hang heavy. And then the left arm up by the ear, right arm down by the hip, out to the side, switch the arm that's on top, and back to center. Right arm up, left arm down, circle them around, and back up over your chest. Left arm up, right arm down, circle it to the side, and back up over your chest. And
I got confused.
that's okay. It's okay. From here, let's go ahead and do a little bit of pelvic clock work. So think of dropping your sternum heavy onto your spine and down into the mat. Now drop your rib cage heavy into the mat. Drop your lumbar heavy into the mat until finally your tailbone tips up towards your knees. And reverse that, tip your tailbone down into the mat and allow the body to arch up off of the mat. Roll down through the spine to tip the tailbone up towards the knees. And you put your hands on your belly, make sure that that's nice and soft. And tip the tailbone down and roll it up. And drop the sternum and roll back through to tip the tailbone. And now tailbone to the mat and arch away. Come back to center.
Okay, now talk about the sternum.
So your sternum drops heavy onto that space between the shoulder blades so that you're not lifting the sternum up to the ceiling, but it's kind of like doing here. And you're trying to flex. You get the flexion for that 12 o'clock, or that 12 o'clock position. The flexion for it actually starts behind your sternum. So your sternum just drops down like you're trying to flex your upper back. Did that make sense?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
Had you gotten that before?
I think so.
Oh, you were good. See, I've been doing it all wrong.
She was reaching her sternum towards her pelvis, which was great, but to drop it down is even better. So 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, so your pelvis is that clock face. You drop the right hip bone to 3 o'clock. The left hip bone rolls up. And then the left hip bone rolls to 9 o'clock, and the right hip bone rolls straight to the ceiling. Put your hands on the front of your hips. Make sure that those belly muscles stay nice and quiet. They really don't need that much energy for this tiny of a movement. And you're just rocking that pelvis side to side. And now the right hip bone is going to drop down to 3 o'clock. Reach your left knee over your left toes. Notice now that your pelvis is at about 10 o'clock and 4 o'clock. And then bring it down. Press your left hip bone to 9 o'clock and reach the right knee over your right toes. And that pelvis should move into a diagonal position. And back to center. Right hip bone down, reach the left knee, and center, and left hip bone down, reach the right knee, and back to center. Let's bring the hands down by the sides. We'll do marching here. So let's put your thumb on the bottom of your ribs and your middle finger at the top of your hip bone. The distance that you have there, you don't want that to change. So you're going to bring your right knee up, but don't let that hip bone come closer to your ribs, and bring it back down. Left knee up. Don't let that hip bone come closer to the ribs. And right knee, and back down, and left knee. And be careful that you're not lifting your sternum as you go here. I tend to do that. So that sternum stays rested down. And left knee. Just moving those knees, moving those legs without moving your pelvis. And left. And from here, let's place the hands down by the sides. Bring your right knee into your chest, left knee into your chest. Anchor that spine down into your clay. And from here, go ahead and flex the feet. And draw the legs into as much of a double chair sit as you can without losing control of that lumbar spine. From here, we're going to reach the right thigh away from you and bring it back in, and the left thigh away from you. I want you to kind of notice how far can you go without losing control of your lumbar spine and without that belly poofing up. And we're going to do something with our theraband in a minute, and then we'll come back and try this again. From here, let's go ahead and take the right knee out to the side and back in. Left knee out to the side, back in. Again, the left side anchors down as the right knee goes out, and the right side anchors down as the left knee goes out. So again, you're just moving from the hip joint, not from the pelvis, not from the ribs. Good. And from here, grab your, let's go ahead and place the right foot down, left foot down. We'll take our ring and place it on the outsides of your thighs. And your band is going to be in your hands. If you want to wrap that band around the back side of your hand to help you hold on to it, it's easier on your hands that way. A little bit of pressure into the feet here. Small amount of pressure into the ring. So you're pulling out and pressing into all four corners of the feet, not just the heels. And go ahead and pull out on that band. And we're just going to hold there. From here, keep your rib cage knit down into that clay. Take the band up over your forehead and back up over your chest. Up over the forehead, over the chest, over the forehead. Don't let the sternum go up with it. Over the forehead, over the chest, over the forehead, over the chest. And little canoe paddle here, so dig into the water with the left hand, up and around, down and around with the right hand. And left hand and right hand. You can take that head with it if you like. Left, right, left, right. One more set, and left and right. Back to center. Take a break. Take your ring from the outsides of the thighs, place it between the thighs. Again, feet on the mat. Give that ring a squeeze. And pressure into all four corners of the feet. And again, pull out on that band. And from here, band up over the forehead, up over the chest, over the forehead, over the chest, over the forehead, over the chest, over the forehead, over the chest. Over the forehead, you're going to hold there. Keep thinking about knitting the rib cage to the hip bones in the front, as though you had a pair of suspenders that buttoned your ribs down to your hips. And take a break. Set your ring off to the side and put the band behind your right thigh. And we've been doing an oppositional. We're going to do it same arm tonight. So go ahead and wrap that band around the back of your hand and then put it into your hand here. And your right thigh, right hand. So you're not opposition tonight. From here, just a small amount of pressure as though you're trying to bring that arm up by your right ear. It's not going to go very far because all we want is to get the rib muscles to kick in. So that upper quadrant core kicks in here. Now press the back of the right thigh into the band and press that left foot into the mat. We're just going to wait, and what I want to have kick in is the back of the right thigh and the back of the hip. We're going into hip extension, so we're just waiting for the hip extensors to kick in. Sometimes they really like to be lazy. And take a break. Switch sides. Band at the back of the left knee, band at the back side of that hand, and then into the hand. A little bit of pressure into all four corners of the right foot. The left hand is going to reach towards your left ear just an inch. Doesn't have to go very far, so if you've got trouble with your shoulder, sometimes it's just a matter of putting just a tiny amount of pressure on that band. And now press the back of the left thigh into the band. And we're just going to wait for the back of that left thigh, the back of that left hip to kick in. Y'all feeling how late it is to the game?
This one I at least got to work. I never got the right one.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
My left one hardly wants to kick in at all.
That was my right.
Ah,
And take a break. Put the band behind both thighs and into both hands. Hands are facing one another. Bands at the back of them. Lift both hands up towards the ears, just an inch or so, and press both thighs into the band. And again, we're waiting for the back of the legs to kick in. And boy, that kicked in really quick this time. Now think of that sternum hanging heavy, rib cage hangs heavy, spine hangs heavy all down into that clay. And take a break. Set your band off to the side, hands down by your sides. Bring yourself back into that double chair sit. Now with the thought that that band is still behind your thighs, press your right thigh towards the floor. Can you go further without losing control of your lumbar spine? And now the left thigh pushes away and back up. Right thigh pushes away. Back up. Left thigh pushes away. So we're actually using the back of the body, not the front of the body, to hold the integrity of this motion. And down and up. Last one, down and up, and hug your knees into your chest. Rock that side to side. Let's put the right foot down, left foot down. Let's come back to the ring on the outsides of the thighs.
boy, I could see a big change in mine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing when the back of the body joins in to that game.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't say this. You said band.
No,
Oh.
ring on the outsides of the thighs, and then the band in the hands. We're going to go to hip bridges. We're going to use the band and the ring with it. So bring those feet hip distance or ear distance apart, and pull out on that ring. A little bit of pressure into the feet, pull out on the band. Roll down through the spine to tip the tailbone to that 12 o'clock position, and now roll it up, reaching the knees across the room, roll it right back down again. Roll down through the spine to tip the tailbone and peel it up. Roll it back down. And roll it up, roll it back down, roll it up. Now, we're going to pretend the pelvis is a salt shaker, and we're going to pass the salt shaker to the right on the table. Roll down on the right hand side. Roll up on the right hand side. Pass the salt shaker to the left. Don't tip the salt shaker, just pass it. And then roll it down on the left. And roll it up on the left. Pass it to the right. Roll it down on the right. Roll it up on the right. Pass it to the left. And roll it down on the left. Roll it up on the left. Bring it to center. Now we're going to twist the pelvis to the right and roll it down on that side. Roll it up. Twist the pelvis to the left. Roll it down on the left. Roll it up. One more set. Twist to the right. Roll down on the right. Roll it up. Twist left. Roll down on the left. Roll up on the left. Center it. Roll it all the way down. All right. Set your band off to the side. Keep your ring. We're going to place the ring on your left thigh and on your left elbow, left forearm is going to be on top of it. I'm sorry, right.
Okay.
So it's opposition.
Yeah.
Right arm, left thigh. And from here, we're going to press those two together. I don't want you to feel this in the front of your hip. So if you do, you can take your hand and just put it right there. And that will kind of turn that muscle off. I want you to be feeling this deep on your spine here in the front of your belly. And switch. So right thigh, left arm, left forearm. Press that thigh into the ring. Press the arm down into the ring. Make sure that your shoulder blades are nice, your collarbones are nice and open. And take a break. All right, set that off to the side. Let's go ahead, make a diamond with your hands. Put it underneath of your pelvis. Bring the knees in. And we're going to stretch the right leg really close to the floor. Pull your left knee close to your chest. And switch. And switch. And switch. Change. 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 Keep those collarbones nice and open and rested. Change. 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 No rectus pufus on the front of your belly. Change. 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 And change. Both knees in. Again, hug the knees into the chest. And let's roll to your belly. Are we feeling good, warmed up?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So hands underneath your forehead here. And you're going to lengthen the top of the head to one side of the room, toes to the other side. And then lengthen so much that the upper body and the lower body come to just a small hover. But it's all about, think about standing up here. You're laying on your belly, but you're standing up. And rest it down. And lengthen to that hover. And rest it down. And lengthen. And rest. And lengthen. And rest. Bring your hands by your sides, by your chest. From here, reach your elbows towards your feet. Roll that, have a marble underneath your nose. Go from the tip of your nose to the tip of your chin. And now peel it up, reaching your sternum forward and your elbows towards your heels. And roll it back down. The whole goal here is to get some thoracic extension. And tip of the nose to the tip of the chin. Peel it up, reaching your sternum forward. Good. And peel it back down. Tip of the nose to the tip of the chin. Reach those elbows towards your heels. And then reach your feet to a hover here. Bring your hands into dart position here. Palms by your thighs. And little heel beats here. Squeeze the inner thighs to begin with. And now click your heels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 4, 5. Good. 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last set like that, but stay here. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now from here, turn your palms to the floor. And pulse up and up to the ceiling, down to the floor. And inhale, 2, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2. Try not to let the body move. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 4, 5. And rest it all the way down. And press back into a child's pose.
That is the first time I have been able to do that without my hamstrings screaming at me.
Oh, wow.
In weeks.
Okay.
So that's great.
Yeah, oh, gosh.
Walk your hands to one side. I dare say it was probably the moving stuff then.
Yeah, maybe my body's finally gotten enough rest that...
And now walk the hands to the other side. Back to center. Roll that up. We'll go to quadruped next, so go ahead and stretch one wrist. And back of the wrist. And change. And change.
I need to do this a little longer than your
I
count.
obviously smashed my thumb a little more than I should have today in clinic. Take your time.
There's a cute dog behind you.
Oh, he is cute. Oh, that's some kind of spaniel.
Yeah.
It's pretty. All right. Hands underneath the shoulders and knees underneath the hips for quadruped. Lengthen the top of the head to one side of the room, tailbone to the other side. Don't want your spine to be flexed up this way or arched this way because we want to have T. We want to have T for 2 on our spine here. We don't want the T to slide off. And from here, lift the right hand and the left knee and hold. Boy, I must have really
Is it hurt?
loaded in
your
on my
thumb?
hands like crazy
Yeah.
today. And switch. Lift the left hand, right knee. Keep thinking long spine. And switch again. So just because you've lifted the knee and the hand does not mean you get to shorten the spine. Lengthen tailbone all the way through the back of the head. Reach it out. Now, if you could not find your balance here, you're just going to stay there. And bring it in. Left hand, right knee. If you've got good balance, go ahead and reach it out. And we're going to go for this one tonight, guys. Okay? So now, you're going to shift your weight onto your left hand and your left knee. You're going to lift your right knee and your right hand.
Oh my Lord.
And open it out.
That was beautiful.
It's a little shaky.
Well, yeah, I see that, but that's okay.
And bring it in. It'll be
Okay.
interesting to see what happens on the other side. All right, shift to the right hand and the right knee. Lift the left knee, left hand, and open that out into a star.
This side I can do much easier.
And bring it down. And no students were injured in the course of this video.
I can do it on the right, but not the left.
Yeah, yep. And there's that left side.
There's that left
Yeah,
side.
there you go.
When I need to stretch out my feet too, I could feel that
Okay,
starting
let's
to-
go ahead and sit on those heels then. I'm game. You can rock them back and forth. Give them a good shake. All right. From here, let's come to tall kneeling and grab your band. I'm going to put the band underneath our knees. If tall kneeling feels uncomfortable for you, you can have it seated here. You can also have it slightly piked. But the idea is to stretch the front of the hips here and find your balance. So band is on the outside of the hand, or the thumb side of your hand. Start by lengthening that spine all the way up through the back of the neck. Keep that length, reach the band forward. You can kind of feel how your spine wants to kind of pull into itself. Really keep that length. And bicep curls. 1 and 2. 5, 6. I wasn't sure she was talking to me. 8, 9. Hold 10. Open it out. 1.
Oh,
In. 2. And in.
I'm not going to do this.
3. That's fine. 4. Do
Okay,
it without the band. 5. Yeah. 6. 7. 8. Ooh. 9. Hold.
My arms are getting lower and lower.
And rest. I was waiting for my shoulder blade to organize itself because it decided it was not going to join the game. All right, so band in the hands now, palms up, and external rotation. So your elbow's going to stay at your sides, and you're just going to open it up. 1, 2. You want to keep those elbows close to your sides because there's another one that we're about to do that will take the elbows away. 7 and 8 and 9. Hold 10. Now reach way out. Try and touch the sides of the room. Bring it in. Think that your arms actually start at your sternum and the center of your back. Out 3 and in. Out 4 in. 5. This only promises to get worse.
I know.
7.
It's very distracting watching
8.
all the...
I bet. I'm grateful that I'm this way. 9. And hold. Really reach, 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 reach. Keep them slightly in front of you. Wide collarbones. And rest. So you want to think of, if you think that the collarbone coming off is what's supporting that arm being out there, sometimes it gives it just that little extra that it needs. So lat pull down, so go ahead and take the band up. Again, you can wrap it around the back of the hand. Give those hands a little bit of a break. Let's come down to the front first. So we got out and down. The work here is in keeping the shoulder blades down the back. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and 9, last one, 10. And now let's go ahead and stretch. Back stretch here. So this is fine if you're already feeling a stretch. I'm gonna take mine a little lower, but I want you to do what your shoulders will do. And go ahead and side bend to one side. Inhale into the top rib. And exhale. And up, go the other direction. And inhale. And exhale. And back up. And turn. Maybe you're not going to wait till the 23rd.
Maybe I'm not.
Either that or you're just trying to emulate your instructor. All right. Band at the front of the hip because we ignore the tricep way too often. Basically because I hate doing the tricep.
Tell us how you really feel, right?
That's how I really feel. I hate doing the tricep. It's on video now, forever. All right. So from here, you're just going to hinge forward at the hip, nice flat back. There's a tendency to pop your sternum, keep it down. And from here, palms face your thighs, pull back. 1. And straight arms back, 2. Straight arms, 3. Straight arms, 4. You should feel some glutes kicking in here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold it up here. Squeeze the rib cage with those upper arms. And squeeze 2. Squeeze 3. Squeeze 4. Squeeze 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now bend straighten 1, bend straighten 2, bend straighten 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hardest part of my day is done. Well, next to getting up in the morning.
Just think though, Robin, your arms are not going to have this big flap here.
Well, I don't know. Let's see. It's kind of already on its way.
I think it's a foregone conclusion, no matter what you do sometimes.
All right.
Yours don't do, I mean, you're,
Yeah, they
oh,
do.
well, all right, we're going to have to do a lot of those, girls.
All right. So let's go ahead, come back into your quadruped, and we'll walk the hands forward and come into just a modified plank here. So your hips are down. You want to try and make one line between the top of the head and the knees. But if you end up sagging in your lumbar spine, bring your hips up. There's no point in making one straight line if it makes your hips sag. If you like, you can tuck your toes and come into a full plank. Heels reach to one side of the room, top of the head to the other side. Weight into all 5 fingers.
Ugh.
Yeah, just keep it modified. Keep it modified, Sharon.
Some nights I can do it, you know.
I know.
This
Mhm.
isn't one of them.
Use this as a nice calf stretch here. Now we're going to go into a downward dog. Walk your hands back some. Downward dog is all about the length of the spine. So you're trying to put your hips on the corner of the ceiling behind you, while the top of the head reaches to the mat. Weight into all 5 fingers and rotate your elbows towards one another. Then you can straighten your knees and try and get your heels down. But more emphasis on the spine elongation than anything. We'll tread here, so bend one knee, stretch the other, and switch, and switch, 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 change, 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 and come back out into your plank. Go to modified plank and push-ups. Bend your knees your elbows just a little bit. Press up. Down, press up 2. Down, press up 3. Down, press up 4. Down, press up 5. Back up into your downward dog. And walk the hands back to your feet. Let your knees soften here. Some nice deep breaths here. Just letting that spine hang off into the floor. Now go ahead and put your hands on your elbows. And I want you to imagine that there's a nice soft rain. And you have nice warm raindrops dripping down your spine and onto the floor. And your spine is relaxing into what the raindrops are doing. We'll go to bottoms up from here, so we go ahead and place your elbows on your knees. And from here, send the tailbone up to the ceiling, look behind you, bend the knees. Tailbone up to the ceiling, bend the knees. Tailbone up to the ceiling, bend the knees. Tailbone up to the ceiling, bend the knees. Hands back down, let's walk it all the way back down. Knees down, we'll come down onto the belly again. Go ahead and place left hand under the forehead and grab your right ankle with your right hand. Just that right quad stretch. And you're trying not to let your hips pike up. You actually want to try and tuck your tail. Kind of like a whipped puppy dog tucks his tail. Now let's go ahead and circle the ankle here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Use your ring, Sharon. And reverse it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can tell how much we need this one.
Oh, yes.
So if you're having trouble at home, you can take your ring, grab your foot with your ring, and just bring it in. Good, and switch legs. Circle the ankle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reverse it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Rest that one down. Let's come on to one side or the other. Hold up your hand under your forehead. Straighten your bottom leg. Let your top leg be bent. Reach that right arm way far forward. Take it up over your head. And now open your chest up to the ceiling like you're trying to put the back of the right shoulder on the floor or on the mat. We'll hang out here. Just some nice breaths here. Very careful with the front of your shoulder. That can be a lot of strain on the shoulder if it's not going to go there. Stretch your top leg and drop it into your bottom hand. Reach that foot way far forward while you're reaching the right hand back. Let's get a nice rotation all the way through the spine. And reach your right sits bone to the wall at the base, or to the base of your mat.
Got the wrong foot.
Top leg. You had it.
Did I have?
Top leg. You don't need the ring for that.
I don't.
No, just drop it in the bottom hand. Drop it in the bottom hand. Take the top hand back. Now look back at that back hand. There you go. And bend that knee in. And uncurl yourself. Reach that top leg to help you come up. And the other side. Bend a little pillow out of your bottom arm. Top leg is bent, bottom leg is straight. Reach your top hand way far forward. Reach it up over your head. And then let it open up. Let your chest open to the ceiling. That top leg ideally should stay down on the floor, but it doesn't have to. Something to work towards. Now stretch your top leg and drop it into your bottom hand. So the hand that was under your head comes under that leg. So kick it up. There you go, Sharon. Good. Flex that foot. Look back at that hand. So the left hand is reaching back, you're looking left. The left foot is reaching forward, and your left sits bone is reaching to the bottom of the mat. Pull that knee in. Unwind yourself. Reach the top leg. Reach that leg so far that it starts to pull your body up off the mat.
It felt good, but yeah.
But hard.
Yeah.
All right, nice and wide. We used to have an exercise, we haven't done it in a long time, where you're actually laying down on your side and coming up without using your arms and using that pelvic pattern to do it. That was tough.
It's a great exercise though.
Yeah, it felt like I was doing something, you know, like I could tell.
So you're only as wide here as you feel just a very gentle stretch. So no big stretch here. Once you're there, now if you need to prop yourself up against a wall, that can happen. You can also set yourself up on a pillow or something a little higher that will help with this. From here, you're going to tip your tailbone backwards and your belly forwards, and there's where the adductor stretch is going to come from. Back and forth here, Sharon.
I'm trying to.
Yeah. Just breathe into, extra breath into that left-hand side. And the other thing you can do is take your hand and put it right here. Stretch the fascia a little bit away from you.
Oh, great. That's what I need to do.
Kind of inhibits that muscle through there. All right, circle the ankles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reverse it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Spread your toes out. Squeeze them together. Spread your toes out. This is just like you're doing your hands. Squeeze them together. And you can do your hands too. If you've got arthritis in your hands, this is a really good one for it. And out, and together, and out, and together. And wiggle the toes. Act like you're playing the piano with them. Good. Give those legs a good shake. All right, hands behind the backs of the knees. Help them to come in. And let's come to our heel cord stretch here. So you tuck your toes under. And sit back onto those heels there.
Just so pleased.
So this is the least aggressive stretch. As your hands come up and you come back to your heels, that's the most aggressive. You want to keep your heels together. So you're stretching through that big toe. So go where you need to go. Don't over push a stretch. When you over push a stretch, you just get more muscle guarding. You don't get more flexibility. Hands down, and let's press back into our squat. Now this squat can be anywhere that you need it to be. So I actually have my feet together, but my heels are not all the way down. If I wanted to get my heels down, I could separate my feet a little bit, and my squat would be here. People with knee issues may need to squat here, and that's fine too. From here, let's take our tailbone up to the ceiling. Bring your feet very close together. And again, just let that hang. Let's bend one knee, stretch the other, and switch, switch, and switch, and switch, and switch. Now, 2 different ways to do this. If you have a bone density issue, here's what you're going to do. Bring your elbows to your thighs. Come into a flat back here. Lengthen the spine from one end so the tailbone reaches back, top of the head reaches front. Find that place where you really feel like your hip strength is kicked in. If you can let go and drop your hands down to the floor, do so. If that hurts, bring your elbows back in. You're not ready for it yet. If it doesn't and you're good here, try and bring the arms up here. If that hurts, come back to this one. From here, tip your tailbone underneath and stand up. Good. All right. So again, bone density issue, you're going to come into a flat back and work in that position there. No bone density issue. You are going to drop your chin to your chest. Start to curl that down. Your sternum's going to reach up to the ceiling before it drops over. Your rib cage is going to reach up to the ceiling before it drops over. Your lumbar spine is going to reach up to the ceiling before it drops over and you're all the way down. And now we're going to roll it up. Tip your tailbone towards your heels and begin to roll that up. All the way to standing. And nice big inhale here. And exhale. Grow tall through that spine. And inhale. And exhale. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Sternum is rested down. You're lengthening through the back of the body, not the front of the body. And inhale. And lengthen. And rest. All right, enough for you guys tonight. Thank you.
Class.
Yeah, I'm just so glad I could do stuff without my
Yeah.